You can start it, and I'll just readjust as the thing starts.
All right, yeah, I'll just start. All right.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, then let's start it off. Beyond the Rift, episode number 85, starring the one and only I'm a Cutie Pie. I want to say self-proclaimed best sign in the world, without a doubt.
God.
Joining me today, Skara. You're looking extra zoomed in today. Who are you?
Hello, what's up? I'm the guy who watched this idiot feed his ass off on Scion every week and somehow win. I don't bet on Scion. It's actually insane.
I know if I OP.GG'd my Scion score, I'd have 0 kills and probably like at least 10 deaths per game. And it doesn't even matter. The champion's so fucking stupid. It doesn't even matter. I fucking love it.
Okay. What about if I do it this way? Wait, while I'm adjusting this, why don't you introduce our special guest? One that doesn't have a cam problem.
So I was giving an intro.
Well, for the one that doesn't know me, I'm sOAZ. I've been playing League since the beginning pretty much, competitively, and yeah, I've been playing League ever since then.
Alright, well, before we get into the hard-hitting topics, I want to give a quick shout-out to Discord. Live question and answer on the Discord service. Download the program. It's fantastic. We all love it. Use it. Ask us questions. At the end of the show, we'll answer them. But let's get right into it. Sky, you're looking fucking fantastic.
I'm working on it. You can keep going. I will fix it on the show.
All right, then let's go into topic number 1. Competitive League has changed a lot from the early years. Before, players used to compete all over the world. Do you miss that over the stability of LCS?
For me, I think it's really hard to answer because the LCS, like as you said, like bring a lot of stability to the league and much more income for players, for like the production, rioters, etc. I think back then it was a lot more fun because it was more casual overall. I don't know, you are not worried about being, dead last of LCS or stuff like that. So, yeah, there's less pressure and it was more fun to travel everywhere,
Well, if let's say you could, it was back how it used to be where, you travel to like Las Vegas for a tournament, then you go to Korea for some shit.
For IPL and stuff.
Yeah, the IPLs. Let's say they had it like that, but it had the stability of LCS. Would you prefer just like playing in one place or like traveling to play?
Well, I would prefer traveling. Like, I think Berlin is fine, but it's not like the greatest necessarily. I mean, it's good living conditions, but I don't really like necessarily being stuck in here 24/7. So I wouldn't mind a bit of traveling. I'll probably vote for the traveling a little bit more.
Yeah, I can say that traveling in the LCS, that was like the best. I don't want to say the best time of my life, but maybe it was the best time of my life. It was fun as fuck, man. Yeah, it was just casual. Like no one honestly gave a shit. Like you'd go to the tournaments, like. Even the tournament organizers, it's like Scar, dude. It's like how Scar is just fucking everything up right now. That's basically how it used to be with the tournament organizers, dude.
Don't pinpoint it. The camera is literally messing up. It's not me.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, like, that's how it used to be. The tournament organizer, they'd have no fucking idea what was going on. I remember, I think it was at like. What tournament was it at? It was fucking... What was the one in Germany? Or what was the one...
Was it Cologne?
Yeah,
I think it was Cologne where you guys played well.
Yeah. I think in Cologne, they had it so we couldn't play practice. Or no, it was MLG. No,
it was MLG Anaheim. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
So funny.
People ask us, why did we fucking ARAM? These motherfuckers wouldn't let us even go into a practice game because they said... It would be a advantage because the enemy team can't do that.
No, and then finally they let us practice, but we could only practice on the minion. And Dominate, which was our jungler, was just like, what the fuck do I do? He was so mad.
Yeah, they only let us play on Dominion. They were like, all right, you guys gonna keep complaining? You can play a Dominion game. It's like, that's not even the same fucking game mode. Like, what the fuck? MLG was great, dude. I love that kind of shit. Sky, what do you prefer?
Well, I actually really like traveling. Like, I think that kind of traveling burned me out though, like really hard.
Move your fucking seat.
I legit. Okay. Is it this way?
Yes, there it is.
Wait.
Good job.
Does it actually work?
Yes. You just moved.
Okay.
What did you prefer, Sky?
I think traveling was great. When I was doing it, I actually hated it because I think I traveled so much that like I got really pissed like traveling all over all the time. I was also in school at the time, so it was really difficult for me. But afterwards, I was like, it was nice traveling to like 8 countries a year or like 13 destinations a year. It was really good.
You hated traveling? What'd you hate about it?
The actual like traveling and like sleeping. It's uncomfortable for me to like I don't know sleep in a new area. Like I always get the first day I land, it's always just terrible sleep. Never is it good.
How old were you when you started playing competitive?
Probably 20, 21.
Yeah, because for me, I think I was like 17, so it was a bit more fun, I guess. Maybe I think if you're a bit older and you start doing this, maybe it's less fun.
What are you calling him?
Like,
you calling him an old
younger,
man or
you're
what?
calling me a fucking that old grandpa.
When you're like 21, you know, like you have different like priorities as if you're 17, you know, like I mean I'm looking at like my mid laner right now, you know, I'm looking at Caps for example, you know, he's 17 when he joined, and it's completely different to Reckless that is like 21, you know.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, because like when I was traveling, I remember I was still going to school or whatever, and like I went to the advisor that tries to keep you on track. Like they just talked to me like, you're skipping all these classes. What are you skipping them for? I was like, I'm going all over the world to compete in an online video game. She just laughed at she was like, what the fuck are you doing? You're throwing your life away, your college education to play video games? It was like, come on, man. I know what you mean with the priorities. I mean, you were the same way, Scar, right? Because you were taking... You're in your final year, right?
Yeah, I was in my final year and left to go to OGN. I missed one of my finals for my exams to compete at a tournament. I was like, whatever, fuck it. I'd rather do this. So
I think that's how everyone was. After a certain point, I was like, whatever, fuck this bitch, man. I'm just dropping out and gonna go fucking play competitive.
Yeah, and I actually think a lot of the players who like started competing now really don't understand what it's like to travel. Like for them, traveling is MSI or Worlds, and then it's not like imagine like every other week I'm going to Anaheim, I'm going to like LA.
Yeah, there's not even IAMs anymore, so
yeah.
And
even like isn't E Masters online?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, I think EU Masters is online, so there's no more traveling.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if they play the final or something like this offline. I suppose it's everything online, but yeah.
Oh, that is kind of lame. Yeah, I feel like traveling. It's just kind of fun, but I guess, yeah, it's not about having fun anymore or whatever. It's more competitive, more strict now, but I thought it was kind of fun. I preferred it, but whatever. Let's go to the next topic now. So how are you able to constantly compete at the highest level year after year?
I think it's pretty, like, since they changed the game, so it's much more team-based, like, I had like a discussion with Boris, you know, everyone knows him as Boris now. So I had a discussion with him, like, when was it, like last month or 2 months ago, and we were just talking about League overall, and he was just saying, like, since a few years back, like, if you're at a decent or good level, you can always be at a good level, like, as long as you put a minimum of effort into it. If you have good knowledge in the game, then you can always be at the top. So it's not, I mean, to me, it doesn't require too much. Like, I think out of every other pro player, I don't grind solo queue as much. Like this year, I've played a lot more than what I used to, but it's only because I really wanted to. But I don't have to force myself to be really, really good at the game.
You don't have to. It just comes natural, is what you're saying. You just
no. I think it's also due to my position. Like, no. But so top lane is, of course, there's there's metas where there's more carry oriented. So there I'll probably put more effort into learning this matchup or this champion, etc. Right? But when it's like tank versus carries or tank versus tank, it's a lot more about knowledge, and you don't necessarily need too much I mean, I don't necessarily need to put too much effort because I already know a lot about the game. So for me, it's more about what I need to keep improving and learning about is more the team aspect of the game, you know, like how to coordinate better with my team, or to be more efficient in communicating and things like that.
Yeah, it makes sense because I know, I mean, when I play solo queue and I'm playing like fucking Scion or some shit, I'm not making like mechanical outplay. It's not like I'm fucking I'm not like fucking, oh my god, I'm just outplaying the shit out of this guy. It's just like, I'm gonna go and fucking make a roam play. I'm gonna do this shit. Like when you're playing a carry, you need to be like outplaying. You need to be getting those leads because you don't make roam. It's not like I'm Fiora. I'm gonna go for like a roam down bot. I'm doing some like roam shit. It's like
I feel like when you play tank, like for example, like you say Scion or stuff like that. Scion is a bit different maybe, but when you play tank against carries or tank versus tank, it's more about capitalizing on enemy mistakes rather than making a play. At least on lane, that's how it is, I feel like. But yeah.
Do you feel like this game is a lot more team oriented than how it used to be? Because I know a lot of people say like leagues, like we hate League of Legends. It's team oriented. We got to play with our team. We hate that shit. What do you feel about that?
Well, obviously it's a lot more team oriented, but it's hard for me to tell like why is it this way. I think there's a lot to it. Is also because teams and players improved a lot. What do you want to say, Scott?
Oh, I'm just curious. Like, is there any way to like kind of fix that? Like, because it sounds like for you, it's hard for you to improve like individually. Like all your improvements toward team, right? And that's cool.
I think, like for example, last year, like when we went bootcamp in Korea as 4 with Mr. Alice. I mean as 5 with Mr. Alice last year after Spring Split, and we played a lot of solo queue there and stuff, and I could actually feel that I improved a lot by playing, by streaming in Korea and playing teams, but I don't feel like besides playing scrims in Europe, like I really improved, you know.
Oh, wow. Is Korea solo queue that much better?
I mean, I think players are a lot better, yeah, and I think you learn. I mean, there's a lot more fighting. So, yeah, I think you learn more, and the players will pressure you a lot more for sure. Like they will try to exploit all the matchups advantages that they can get and things like this. Yeah.
So you think then that you've reached the highest point in terms of like solo queue game, not like or not game knowledge, but like game mechanic. Like you can't get anything else from like European solo queue. You need to go to like.
No, of course, you'll always improve, right? It's you're just at a point where you just cannot improve at all. Like even if you say that, you still like improve somehow without even recognizing it, right? Like no matter what, as long as you play the game, you'll always improve at something. It's just that by playing in Korea, my improvements were more noticeable from my point of view.
All right. Well, for the final question on this topic, what do you think of like players like? I'll just use. What do you think of someone like Scara, for example, who used to be a competitive tier player and now he's stuck in D5 or whatever?
Wait, whoa! I'm like 150 points Masters.
Are you really? Okay, what do you
Yeah.
okay, let me rephrase that then. What do you think of players like Shifter, who's now Masters 50 LP after being hailed as like a really good player? What's your take on that? Why do you think a player like that fails to keep growing?
I'm not sure, but I mean, for me, I find it's really hard to like play at a really high level and stream at the same time. So it's something that is hard for me to do. So maybe this can impact like the play of like certain streamers. I don't think it happens for everyone, but I'm sure like for you, you probably don't give a fuck, right? About like.
Dude, are you kidding me? When I'm playing Scion, I give the most fucks, dude. I'm mentally in the zone. I'm as sharp as a knife, dude. I'm just trying my fucking heart out with that shit. But I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, like when you stream, you probably don't give too much of a shit what's happening. And
I mean, I think it's easier to play at your highest if you don't care too much about what people think about like your play or anything related.
Yeah, definitely that. Yeah, I've played with a lot of people that.
I'm just curious. Stuff. So, if you eliminated streams entirely from your day by day, how much do you think you would improve as a player from like now to the end of the year? There's no streams.
If you play no streams,
yes,
I think you'll just get worse naturally, for sure.
You don't think you'd at least be able to maintain your skill level? You'd get worse.
I mean, in terms of if you're talking competitive, right? Or you're talking just about the game?
No, I'm talking like competitive. You don't think just like duoing and like being able to communicate with someone or something like that would help like keep your competitive level still even at least?
I think you'll keep up to a certain point, but with lots of changes and people getting better, you're probably gonna get worse at some points.
Dude, I know for me, like game knowledge is actually something that it's hard to get sometimes in solo queue. Like I'll spam solo queue and I'll be like, I think this is how it goes, but like learning macro is really difficult in solo queue. Like you don't learn macro, and so. When I was playing and competing, I felt like game knowledge wise, fucking top in the region. And then afterwards, I was coaching, still felt really good. I stopped coaching. My game knowledge went from like a here to like a here. Like I at first I used to laugh at analysts. Like I'd literally look at their analysis and be like, you guys are idiots. Like actually it's not what happened. This is what happened. You guys are stupid. And now I look at analysis and I'm just like, I'm the stupid one. Like I look at that and I was like, I didn't even think about that. That's a good idea. And I'm like, wait, if I didn't think about that, I'm the idiot now. So it's like, in the span of 2 or 3 years, I feel like my relative game knowledge has decreased outside of like specific matchup oriented knowledge. And it's painful. Like I feel like it's like tangibly I'm stupider at the game. Or like everyone else got so much smarter and they kind of like left me in the dust.
Yeah, I don't know about everyone getting smart. I'm telling you, man, like, a lot of the times I play, literally the only thing, I'm gonna fucking hit towers. Like, everything that I do revolves around hitting towers. And, like, I don't think that I'm playing well, but I'll just end up winning a game because it's like, what do we do? He keeps split pushing and hitting towers. I don't know. Let's do fuck, we lost the game. Like, that kind of shit. I don't know if people are really getting that much better. But let me ask you, if you couldn't scrim it, do you think that if you had voice chat in solo queue, would it allow you to get somewhat better competitive wise?
Yeah, I mean, I think for the the professional players that are decent at communicating, like if they had voice chats, like they could not like micromanage everyone, right? But just like make it so there's an actual plan in the game, and people will be much more coordinated and all this kind of stuff. So, like, I think some games will be better and some games will be just a disaster because, there will be a lot of trolls and stuff like that. But, I think it can go either way. But, at high elo, like, I think it will be super good for sure.
Yeah, like I've been begging, please put voice chat out. Like, if you want the game as a whole, the players to get better, you need to be able to communicate. Like, some of this shit I see some people do, it's like, no, but I can't I have to type like no, and it doesn't get the message across. Like, you're fucking stupid. Don't do this shit. You're gonna die, dude. Like,
just think about it before. Like, there's even pings in the game. Like, I don't even know we're playing solo queue before pings.
Yeah, I don't know how
that's true. Oh my god.
Yeah, like the pings are good, but the problem is the thing that tilts me the most in solo queue, I'll ping until I have no more pings, and then I'll tell them I have no more pings. Please fucking back up, and then they'll get wiped, and it's like, oh my fucking god! I just wish I could like start screaming like, stop! Don't do this shit, dude. Scott, what do you think that solo queue needs voice chat?
I think it would be helpful, especially for high elo. I don't know how it would be for other elos, but like, for instance, your example perfectly. In the last 2 months of playing, I play solo queue a lot. There's been one time the bot lane backed out of the bot turn when they were getting 4-man dope. One time in 2 months, they always just like, I cannot play this dive, and they get killed. I'm just like, we lose the game.
Yeah, that happened, dude. Yeah, I'll play mid lane, and I'll be spam pinging like, mid's roaming, get the fuck out of bottom, move out of bottom. They'll just stand under the tower, and it's just like, fuck, man, we fucking lost this game. Double kill, they take the tower, game's fucking over. So, alright, let's go to the next topic. I could go on about that, but fucking monkeys in solo queue. So Fnatic just won the split in super dominant fashion. Did you expect this split to be so easy for your team?
You can never expect, to be like first and win 3-0 and stuff like this, right?
Right.
So my expectation were that I think we could at least, not like easily, but like get to final and then see if there's another really great team as well. I think since Mithi and Sven left for NA, like G2 got a lot weaker for sure. They have a new roster I think the roster is really good overall. I think they are just facing a few issues, or at least they faced a few issues during the split, which made them not as good overall from what they are looking in scrims, or things like that. So they are facing a few issues, but you can never expect to be first 3-0,
Well, let me ask you, what do you think makes Fnatic so good, aside from you, of course?
I think we also have really good players overall. Like from last year, I think we are quite a bad team as playing together, but since we have really good players overall, like we managed to qualify to Worlds and like not play good, but play decent, and our team play and communication was super garbage last year. Like you have no idea how bad was it, It was really bad, and we still managed to play well, just because we are like somewhat good at playing laning phase wise and mostly playing team fights. I think it's probably one of our strengths. Like we don't even communicate that much, like during team fights or anything like this. So like sometimes we don't even say when we are gonna engage or things like that. It's just like we're just playing really good team fight wise without too much communication, or like the only communication is probably if we need to peel, or if sometimes target, sometimes we don't even call targets.
Damn, you guys. So
yeah, you guys are beasts.
Yeah, you guys don't even tell I'm looking for an engage. It's just engage.
No, but most of the time it's gonna happen, right? But there's some situation where you cannot call.
Yeah.
Till it's like this half a second where you see the engage, but you cannot communicate it in time, and these team fights, even these team fights still go pretty well overall. I think we are really good at team fighting overall, and I think it probably came from last year, playing a lot of team fight comps and stuff like that.
Well, let me ask you: do you think that you have the best players in their roles on Fnatic? And if not, who would you replace to be the best player? I just want to know: do you have the best players in the respective roles on Fnatic?
I don't think you can say best players, because in my eyes, players level there's a lot of variation between days and weeks, So in some weeks, maybe this top laner is gonna be better than me, right? And maybe the next week, I'm gonna be better than him, right? So I think you can say. The thing I can say is probably that all our players are in the top 2 to top 3, I would say. So, and then all these top 2 to top 3 can be first at a certain point, right?
Alright, fair enough.
Dude, I have to ask, Reckless is it Reckless or is it Reckless?
Reckless.
Alright, Reckless has had a stupid year stat wise. I look at him and he's going crazy. Do you think he's playing at potentially the first best player in position in the region right now?
As AD carry, I think for sure you can say that Reckless clear first. I'd say, yeah.
Did he do something different this year?
What?
Did he do something different this year, or do you think he's always been this good?
I think he was always really good, of course. But, this year, Sven left. So, Sven and Missy left. So, you can say that, there's not, as much competition for him, right? So.
Was Sven and Mithy the competition, though? How good were they really? Because, we've seen him in NA, and I'm just saying, dude. I just want your take on it now, because Sven and Mithy, yeah. Good.
I think it's probably not the same, but TSM is probably a bit the same as G2 right now. It's just a new team, and they have 5 really good players overall, and they are just facing internal issues. You don't know what's the issues. It can be communication, it can be individual players, champion pool, whatever issues, right? And they are just facing issues that make them not play as good together. And as we said before, the game is so team play oriented that even the smallest issues that you face as a team can have a lot of impact in your results overall. But I think Sven and Mithy are still really, really good overall, and I think if they overcome their team issues, you'll probably see it, by the summer split.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, my last question on this topic is: you guys did super well this split, and you say Sven and Mithy just got tossed to North America, right? You're lacking competition. Does that mean split? Does that mean the summer split's going to be easy for you guys too? Maybe not easy, but do you expect many problems moving forward?
I will say that I expect again to probably to at least place a top 3 or play a final. That's my sort of. I'll be really disappointed, if we don't meet this expectation of at least playing final. Of course, aiming to win the entire thing, right? But I think it all depends. You know it, right? It depends about. When players comes around, it just depends so much about your preparation for playoffs, and so it's really hard to say. Before playoffs it means something, right? But the preparation for playoffs means a lot more than just the overall season.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because they could just flip some shit on you too, Riot, and just throw some random shit before a playoff. You know how Riot does. Yeah, they could just, you know what, let's just do some random fucking change and just revolutionize the game. So, alright, let's go to the next topic now. So a large part of your career has been taking a small amount of resources and working with little pressure. Is this the sacrifice all top laners have to make?
Wait, I preface this with a lot of times people talk about your team this split and they're just like, oh my god, Reckless down bot lane, he's doing great. And I'm looking top lane, I'm just like, I've seen sOAZ get ganked 7 times in the last 2 games. He's got no jungle pressure. He's still even CS and he died twice. Like, he's doing really good job at soaking the CS. And I think I see this a lot. Like, whenever I tune into your games, I just, regardless of the meta, you just don't get much help sometimes. And I'm just wondering, like, is this what top lane has become? Is this like the natural, or is something that you're just really good at?
So, I think it was the case for last year, because last year we were playing a lot of bot lanes that like needed gank, sort of, you know. So we are playing a lot of losing bot lanes, and we will need jungle pressure on bots. So this was the case last year. And for this year, I have my theory that, so my own theory about this year is that European bot lanes are just really bad. So,
Okay.
So my theory is that our bot lane is just overall better than most other bot lanes. So they will usually get a lead, and then when we get jungle, is that they either cannot contest, you know, or something like this, or they don't even try to contest and then just go top lane, you know, like. So that's my theory about this year overall.
So you just think your bot lane just shits on everyone so hard that the jungle has no choice but to try to make a play top?
I mean, sometimes, you know, like, it's not always the case of, you know, like, it doesn't always happen, right? But it's my theory that then what, like, of course, like, when you cannot contest, then you have to trade side of the map, right? So sometimes people do it before or do it after. It depends on their priorities, right? I mean, I always thought since many years, you know, like, trading bot side for top is usually better because bot lane can take turrets and all this kind of stuff, right? So you can open up the map a lot easier by playing for bots, but some teams either just don't know that, or they don't want to play this way, or, you know, to me, it's just like a question mark, you know, to why teams sometimes play a lot more top side than bots. But.
Well, let me ask you, I have a theory here. My theory is that sOAZ is creating so much pressure in the top lane, the only way to alleviate it is to gank the shit out of him. What do you think of this theory?
I mean, I don't think necessarily, like, I think a lot of, I mean, not a lot of necessarily, but last year probably a lot more. Like, there's a lot of people trying to play carry, you know, on the top lane. A lot of, like, people trying to play Jace and this kind of stuff, like AD Cannon, you know. There's a lot of carries, right? And we are playing more like bot lane focus, right? So they'll probably try to play for their carries on the top lane, but then it just ended up being like their carries in the top lane. Yeah, maybe he will get 1 kill and turret, but we get bottom turret, and then you just have more impacts. But I don't think it's like me putting pressure or anything like this. It's just,
hey, come on,
I think
man.
people have just issues playing correctly towards bottom lane, probably.
Ooh. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it makes sense because, yeah, bot lane, like you said, I've always thought bot lane is probably one of the most important lanes too, just because there's 2 people bottom. Heroes are worth a lot. If you can get 2 heroes going instead of 1, you're probably going to have a good time, but who knows, man. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, so. Scar, what's your take on it? You think sOAZ is dragging all the pressure top lane, or is it just bot lane?
Dude, I watch the games and I'm just like, I'm like, okay, well, they don't play bot side, they're playing top side. But it just seems against Fnatic, teams play top side a lot more often. And I'm just like, well, this is interesting.
That's why I said, I have this theory, about just my bot lane is better than enemy bot, so they just have to go top,
I mean, when I see the draft, sometimes I'm like, oh, there's 7 AD carry bans this game. That was interesting. Like, I didn't think a team ever deserves 7 AD bans.
Scenario,
Yeah, and I'm just like, wait, what happened? So, like, maybe it is they're just super afraid of their bot lane, but I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm just curious. Like, what do you think your strength is as a player? Because you've been around a long time. So, like, is your strength just like experience, or do you think you have something that you're just better at than other people? Or
I think the one thing I can say that I'm better than others is probably playing like engaged champions overall. Like, not necessarily tank champions, but just engage overall. Usually I have good position if I have to flank or good roams, this kind of stuff. So I probably like play the map better than others. But I think a lot of players are like better laning phase wise than me. Not saying that I'm like way worse than them, but yeah, I think I'm if I get a lead, if we get a kill on top lane, like I know that I will use this kill efficiently to either get a TP on bot or pressure mid if I think it's good, or pressure my lane. You have to choose it most of the time between doing either. So either pressuring mid, getting a kill, or pressuring my lane, or making a call so we can set up a play on bot.
Okay.
All right. Okay, let's go on to
general game understand. I got it.
You need some of that, Scara. And
Yeah,
master
I do
tier
need some of that.
50 LP or whatever you said.
that shifter, dude. Don't associate me with that garbage. Okay, I'm
Alright.
40 LP higher.
My bad. So is franchising
You're
coming?
150 LP, I know.
How much LP am I at? Is that what you asked?
No, how many LP does Scar have?
I think, what are you, 90?
I'm like at 130, and he's like 90. So like,
No, he's at 50 now. Don't worry, dude. He's
okay. I'm like 70 up. See, easy.
Good shit. So with franchising coming to EU LCS soon, are you excited for big sponsors and brands to come into the scene? Let me ask, what big sponsors have come into the scene since NALCS? I know they had the what is it, State Farm Analyst Desk?
Yeah, they got the State Farm Analyst Desk, dude.
What else
do you
did
need
they
a bigger
have?
sponsor?
No,
they
I'm
wait, did someone just get Mountain Dew recently? Wait, shit, that's Overwatch League. I guess it's the big names behind the teams, not so much like big sponsors. We haven't gotten a huge sponsor that wasn't State Farm yet. At least not that I think.
It's gonna come at some point.
Yeah. I mean, last year, I mean, EU LCS Finals got sponsored by BMW. I thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was nice.
So what's your thoughts on EU franchising, SOAZ?
Well, I think it's good. Like I had an interview during the split, I think, about the franchise and like teams all, and I said like I think that maybe something like half of the teams will probably get replaced in Europe. I think.
Jesus.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you compare those teams, like I think in NA, the teams are probably a lot more resources that didn't get replaced. Like teams like, there's more teams like TSM, CLG, C9. As in Europe, that is really well known. There's like only Fnatic. Not to say like anything bad about G2 or anything like this. Like G2 is up there now, right? Since maybe last year, or like in terms of fan base, and this kind of stuff. So there's like, there's not that many teams. There's Fnatic and G2.
You don't think that people know that many? I'll test you on this. Scar, name all the EU teams right now.
Oh no. G2 Fnatic, Misfits, Splice, H2K. Is Unicorns of Love still in the EOCF?
Yeah.
Okay, Unicorns of Love. Six is pretty good. It's 6 out of 10.
It's almost like that. Almost like it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes your point true, right? Like, of all these teams, like, what team really stands out to me? Fnatic. It's like a big ass team name. They've been around years. G2. I've seen their stuff throughout the years. They've won so many splits. They're doing a great job, I think, with their brand and like their thing. And those are the only two that I'm just like, I like these two to stay. And the rest of them, I'm just like, eh.
There's Misfits now, but it's only because of their balls running. Like, people are like, they don't have like many fans necessarily, but like they got a bit known just because they played very well against SKTI.
Right. Their worlds run and like their players got a lot of fame for that.
I mean, do you think then, like, if EU does go into franchising, not all the teams, but most of the teams get replaced, what'll happen to the players? You think it's going to be a big mix-up of players joining different teams? Is it just going to be team trying to stick together?
I don't know if the teams are honestly gonna change too much. Like, yeah, I don't think teams will necessarily change too much. There's probably gonna be some, mix of teams, like gathering, like the teams that that want some changes, that are like 4, 5, 6, like this kind of stuff. They'll probably try to do some mixes here and there of players, that they want to play with. Possibly. I guess it also depends a lot about people's contract, but I assume if you're minimum smart, you should have your contract ending after this year, right? So.
Oh man, in NA when franchising happened, wild west, dude. Within 3 days, everyone was signed and the teams were made like it was so crazy. I think the shuffle was nuts, and honestly, I would be surprised if EU wasn't like that. I think franchising causes crazy stuff.
Yeah, franchises. Believe it or not, I got asked by multiple teams to join their shitty ass teams during franchise. That's how you know franchising makes like people do some crazy shit if they're asking me to join that shit. So let me ask you then, because you said
there's also the problem and I think the difference also in NA is that there's not as many like actual American players, so you have to import a lot.
Oh, that's true.
As in Europe, we don't have to necessarily import many players, right?
Yeah, do you guys, is there, the only NA import to ever play in Europe was Trashy? Was he a Trashy?
Santorin.
Oh,
and Trashy, right? Wait, Trashy was from EU,
yeah, he was originally from EU. Is there ever been...
Santorin was... Who was I mean, there's amazing...
Yeah, amazing.
He had the... he was as like NA player, but it's only because it's sort of better, to be NA resident or whatever.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, that is... I guess that is true. There's not that many NA players. Cause, even the NA players I see now, they've been in the scene for fucking ever. So most of them you already know. You said before that you thought all of the EU bot lanes were like trash. Paraphrasing, of course. So
I didn't say trash. I
not,
said like
not trash.
Worse than my bot.
Yeah, they're worse than your bot lane. So could you see some crazy shit happening in franchising with just bot lane like exclusive, like people are just gonna start blowing money for like they're gonna start importing like Korean bot lane duos, some shit like that.
It's possible. Like I have no idea. I don't really know about how much Korean players are earning. Like I know pretty well about NA in Europe, but I don't know too much about Korean players at all. But maybe if like PSG with their oil money, you know, they want to buy Faker, you know, for 20 million or
Oh my
no
god.
idea, you know. But that's possible. But I think it will be too crazy, so I don't think it will happen. But there's possibilities to get players imported to Europe. Yeah.
Well, let me just to finish off this topic. Then you said that you knew how much players in EU and NA were making. What would be like a rough estimation for not a superstar, but just like, you know, like a role player, a guy that does his role pretty well? What would you expect someone like that to be making in the EU LCS?
Like average salary of EU?
Yes, that sounds fine.
I'd say, I mean, average is probably like maybe 110 or 120, maybe.
Pounds?
110, not sure. 120,
Okay.
yeah, something like this. 120 for like average. Obviously, there's some players that gets paid like, you know, maybe like 400, 500, you know, like big names. I'm sure, like, I'm not gonna say names, you know, but I assume so, right? And
I mean,
there's
it's
some
like
players that probably, you know, that the players that just joined the league, they are probably getting a bit fucked, you know, and
Hey, dude, that's just how it goes, man. Like, I know when I talk to players in NA when they just joined a team, I'd be like, you're getting fucking pounded, dude. Like, I know when we were on Dignitas, we were getting fucked the whole time too. So
let's not talk about the dark days, dude.
Yeah, that's
that was
just
some
how it
dark
goes.
days.
how much were you guys earning when you first played? Like
when we
when you
first,
first,
like,
We got okay. I remember we got LCS salary plus 1,000 on top.
no, like before when you like started, like even before LCS, how much were you earning? Like
we weren't making anything. We got no pay.
yeah, I think we
Like,
only
no
got
pay.
paid for tournaments.
Yeah, we got paid to get flown out to tournaments, and then we got paid in products. So I think we got mouse pads and like keyboards and like mice.
Wait, you
And that was
were
our
earning
pay.
money before the LCS? Like, they were paying you to be on the team?
Wait, I'm surprised
Yeah.
now.
we
Holy
were
shit!
getting, I think we were getting paid like 300 or 400.
Damn, we didn't even get. They just gave us like, you want a mouse pad, dude? You want a mouse? Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's a possibility that maybe we are a bit better than you guys. Also.
no. Dude, I'm just saying, like, I remember, like, Daddy Odie, could I please get a Razer, Death Adder? He'd be like, we don't have a Death Adder, all we have is the stupid ass MMO mouse, the like 9-button mouse. Yeah.
The Naga mouse.
Yeah, that bullshit. He was like, "You'll get that, and you'll be happy." It's like, dude, but I don't need 9 fucking buttons on my mouse. Don't give me this shit, dude. I wish we were getting at least that fat 300 stack.
Yeah, so I think I remember. So I was playing for AA back.
Oh, I
300.
remember that. Oh,
I was playing,
300.
yeah, something like 300, and I joined Fnatic, and I was getting like 400. You know, I was like.
Holy shit!
Dude,
the dark days back
Dude,
then.
I know how that went, because even when we got into the LCS, it's like Sky said, we were getting paid like whatever the LCS paid at the time, plus like 1,000 on top of that. So we were making like, what was it? It was like 25K a year or some shit
It's
like that.
It was like 35K, but we had to pay rent, so it was like 30K or less.
Yeah,
It
we had to pay
it was
rent and
bad.
pay for our food, and like we pretty much paid for everything. They stopped paying for anything, so it was just like, this shit sucks, dude. This shit really sucks.
Dude, but it's okay, because now in NA, the average salary is like $250,000 up or something. Like, it's nuts. I look at people's salary, like the rumors.
I think average is like 300 or something, no?
Yeah, it's insane in North America. I'm hoping in Europe it's like that too, you know? Franchise comes in, all of a sudden you guys can't stop yourselves from being rich. It's like, here, sOAZ, here's $1 million contract. Take your pick, there's 7. All these orgs want you, right? Like, I think
Yeah, I
that'd
don't think
be
it's
cool.
gonna be quite as much, maybe like 300, you know, but I think it's gonna be like at least maybe 230 to 250 maybe, like something like this. So it's at least like double. It will be at least double of what it is right now.
Damn.
You don't
that's
think
great.
it's gonna blow up super hard though? Because I know, like, I didn't believe what would happen with NA franchising, and then it happened. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, they're just throwing money away. Like, they don't even give a fuck. They're just throwing money at people. You don't think he's just going to start throwing money?
No, so I think there's definitely not going to be the thing of, like, players getting paid, like, up to $1 million, you know. I don't think this is going to happen in EU.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so. Like, I know that I mean, some players already, you know, like contracted for many years already, right?
Yeah.
That the players that their team want them to stay in. So I think they already have their contract set, you know, in case it's franchise or not. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna be up. Like, I don't think people are gonna be paid up to $1 million. At least not next year. You know, maybe in like 2 to 3 years, that's a possibility. But
you don't think a bunch of football teams might start just moving into the scene and just start?
Yeah, but I mean, there's already, like, you know, Schalke, which is like a football team. But I don't think like PSG, for example, was like trying to get into the league back then. But I don't think even like the biggest football clubs are gonna just try to buy everyone, and you know, they're just gonna try. They're just gonna work their way in and try to get like decent players or good players, you know, and make it work rather than just buying everyone.
Dude, NA tried that. Some of the bottom teams in NA tried that. This first franchise split failed terribly because they didn't think. Because before the period that you would negotiate was 2 weeks. And in NA, it finished in 3 days. Actually, 3-4 days. Everyone got signed. I think EU probably going to hear rumors about that shit. People are going to get signed with, like, a lot. I think EU is going to have money. Like, I actually think I am hopeful for EU players. They're going to be making bank next year.
I think some teams in NA also, like, made bad decisions. I don't think it's necessarily like they wanted to, like, walk their way.
Guaranteed.
I think some teams just made really terrible decisions, you know.
I can definitely agree with that. What's the soccer, or not the soccer team, the basketball team? Was it Golden Guardians? who was like developing NA talent or whatever the fuck they were talking about?
Wait.
Yeah.
It was like all the fucking teams basically. We're gonna develop NA talent. They get last place, and now there's rumors that they're just gonna swap out the whole fucking roster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for developing the talent and shit, but I could definitely see how, maybe if the football teams work their way in, let's make some reserved moves. Let's not spend too much money, and then they'll just end up like how NA teams end up.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, let's go on now to the next topic. So what was your favorite top lane meta of all time?
I think I always say like season 3. I think season 3 was really nice.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the season with Mundo Shavana, right?
No. See, I mean, I think season 3 that I think is more the season where there's Zach Toplane, there's Lissandra.
Oh, holy shit!
You know,
wait, was that the season
Kennen,
with
there's like a lot of Kennen Toplane?
Was that the season with Rengar tank?
Oh,
no,
God.
Rengar tank was way before.
Oh,
I think
was
it?
Season. I thought the thing was like Rengar and Zach always fighting each other, like never dying.
I remember playing because I remember playing tank Rengar against CLG at IPL, so I think it was a bit before.
Oh, okay. You're talking about when Elise Top was meta too, right?
Elise Top? No, this was maybe.
Wait, holy shit!
That's forever ago.
Wait. So you like the top lane where it was all engaged champions, then, right? Because you're talking about
like Lissandra, Kennen, Zach. Yeah, this was my favorite meta. Sure. Zach was so fun back then. You'll build like a bit of AP, you know, and you'll deal so much damage as well.
Wait, that wasn't fun for me. That meta was actually no. I remember that meta.
There's Renekton as well playing. I remember at Worlds Renekton was played. Zed was super broken back then as well, and it was flex between mid and top.
Damn, I don't even
There's a
remember.
lot of champions. I don't remember.
Dang. I miss like AP top lanes and engaged champions top lane. Like I don't want to be playing like just tanks that don't really engage. Like they're engaged as like flanking or something stupid. Like I want Lysandra to come back. I think she's really, really nice. It's fun for me to watch.
Yeah, she's really fun to play.
Do you think a champion like Lysandra could ever come back? Like, I imagine Lysandra now, and it's just, if he tried playing it top, I don't think that it'd work out very well, but I don't play top lane. What do you think?
I don't think you can kill the shield or the shields of tank. This champion deal no damage on lane.
Yeah, like, the way I remember Lysandra, I used to be, oh my god, Lysandra's coming for me, she's gonna insta-kill me. Now I play against Lysandra, it's like, I don't even give a shit, dude. Like, she hits me and it's like, dude, fuck off, man. I don't know if it's like, cause I was talking with Shifter about this. I feel like there's too many ways to get fucking tanky now, where it's just, champions like Lysandra, they just don't do anything. Like, I don't understand how, like, you could lane that against, let's say, a tank, like, any tank, and do remotely well against it. What do you think of that, though?
I mean, I agree, like, there's a lot of ways, even for Bowser, you know, like, if you get a little bit fed on a Bowser, like, you're gonna be killing everyone and not, like, and you cannot die. I mean, not too much in competitive, right? More, I'm just talking more solo queuers. But, yeah, I think it's always best, you know, if you can play, like, different type of champion. Like, can be either a Bowser, tank, mages, like, just anything. And I think it's something that Riot is not necessarily doing very good, just balancing the whole thing, because it just feels like over the years there's just like a cycle, you know, of champions that you play, you know, and next cycle is this one, and next cycle is this one, and there's never a cycle where you can play almost everything.
Do you think that it could go back to that? Because yeah, I've thought about that too. Like, we've talked about it a lot on this show, where like I want to see people playing different comps. Like, I want to see people playing split push, playing like poke, playing whatever the fuck they feel like playing, like 1-3-1 type things. Mm-hmm. I want to see things go back to, it's not just you need to play this, you need to fulfill this role, you need like a wave clear mid, you need like a late game carry bottom, all this bullshit. Do you think it could ever be like that again?
I think if you're talking about competitive, I think it's gonna be harder, because, I mean, back then, you know, we were not really scared about trying out things, right? Mm-hmm. Could be like lane swap, you know, all this kind of stuff. Like, people were not scared, as I think there's maybe like more pressure right now, like you failing something, so teams are more practicing towards practicing this, like, one style, you know, they're practicing towards one thing, and there's not enough room for teams to try out like crazy stuff, you know.
Do you think the crazy stuff could work?
Unless you're like a really underdog, you know, and you know you're like the team that we play against, like Levi's team, you know, and then you just have to cheese your way in, you know, and like you're underdog and you know it, so you just to do stuff, and then it works or not. But the teams that really wants to improve, you know, they are not gonna practice cheeses, you know, because that's not a way for them to improve their overall play.
Okay. Do you think though, like, does the cheese style, can it evolve into a real style? Like, can the meta be changed through like players just, I don't want to play like this anymore. I want to change it up. I want to play like this. Or is this like the best style? Like, you have to play like this.
To me, it just looks like Riot wants competitive to be sort of a bit more like solo queue, you know, like at least they are like trying a bit, you know. So people playing solo queue can like associate things from solo queue to when they watch LCS. I'm not sure. Like it just all depends to what they do with their own game. You know, like it's a possibility for sure, but it depends to what they want to do with it.
Okay, so you think it's in Riot's hands then? It's not in the players to like try to break the meta and revolutionize.
Yeah, I mean, of course, players are always gonna look for the best way for them to be the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
So some teams try to cheese, like it doesn't happen always, but some teams definitely do try, you know, in streams or in other things. Sometimes maybe they are a bit too scared to do it in LCS, but some teams do try to cheese. And I think it depends of like, yeah, the balance and changes to make it so there are going to be more variation to the game overall. You know, it can be about so many different changes, you know, like turrets or, just anything can change a lot to the game, and you just have to do some changes and then just give some times to the teams to see what's going to work best.
All right. I'll say for what my favorite top lane meta was for this question. My favorite top lane meta, I used to love watching when we had Cruiser the Bruiser. It was
Shyvana Mundo?
Yeah, Shyvana Mundo. Like
God.
just watching. No, it was when my favorite was top lane. It wasn't Shyvana Mundo. It was Renekton versus Mundo, and the enemy jungler had it was Renekton Elise. Yep.
Oh
and then
my God.
Renekton pushes into the tower. I remember Cruiser the whole time. Please, God, come top lane. Please, someone come top. Please, I'm gonna get tower though. Please come. It got to his tower. Renekton, Fury stun him. Elise, cocoon him, insta dead. And then they just kept doing that to him over and over again. I love seeing that shit top lane. I wish I could see that shit more often. That shit always cracked me. Even though we always fucking lost to it. Like every time it happened, we lost to it. It cracked me up seeing it. So, Sky, what?
Yeah, it was so annoying actually. This Renekton Elise, but I think most teams were trying as much as possible to not leave that open. But
Yeah. It was a thing where
it was not like a game-winning thing. Definitely make you win top lane 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, like top lane was just auto loss off that shit. It was like, get off the tower, you're gonna lose the wave. Just deal with it. That's what happened every time. But Scar, what was your favorite top meta?
I think I like the metas where AP top lanes are very good. So like anything with Rumble, anything with Lissandra, anything with AP Kennen are the metas that I enjoy the most. Mainly because it opens up mid lane to play ADs. So usually those are the metas where you start seeing Jace mid, you start seeing sometimes Zed mid, and I like those metas a lot. I think if we're metas where like you can't play other damage sources, like I remember when Corki AD used to be a thing, right? And then you used to be able to run like a Bruiser top lane because you had Corki. Like I like it when damage sources are across all the different roles. If the meta is you can only play tanks or you can't play any AP jungglers, then it limits what everyone else can play.
I think the meta before, like Sion came in the top lane meta was pretty this year as well. Like Gangplank, Vladimir, you know.
Yeah, I fucking love
champions were not terrible, you know.
Yeah, I love the meta before they nerfed the shit out of Gangplank.
But ever since Sion came in like the meta with the E bug, you know, at first, then
that was
like ever since Sion came in, now the meta
it's awful.
It changed, but I'm not sure it's gonna be for Summer Split.
Yeah, but I remember when that happened, they started bringing Sion mid lane, and I realized, I was like, how do you beat this as a mid laner? Like, the best he could do is just split even while he pokes you. I'm just like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Like,
yeah, and when he's level 2, you cannot even do that, because then he's...
Yeah, I felt really bad for top laners. I was like, I feel your pain. Like, this is god awful.
Dude, I play Sion every fucking game. If I get top and mid, I play that shit. I'm all for that. I hope that they never nerf him. I mean, they did a nerf to his Q. Let me ask you, what did you think of that nerf? Because, like, I'm pretty sure most people will agree. His E's fucking stupid. Like, do you think his nerfing his Q will make him not a problem?
I don't think so. After they corrected the E bug, I think the champion was like he was still good, but it was final. I don't think the Q nerf is needed. I think there's a lot of boozers in solo queue. I know that can be super annoying as Sion. But I think it's very important for lanes. At least, I mean, I'm talking more about top lane because I don't know too much about the other ones. But talking about top lane, I think it's very important to have some picks that you can blind pick. It's fine if there's counters to the pick, right? But if you cannot blind anything, then the game just becomes just really whatever, you know. Like it's not very interesting, really. I think if everything is counter, like if there's like really hard counter to everything, then you just don't want to pick any lane.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely think there should be safe picks because, like, for example, bot lane. If I have to blind pick my champ, I'm just gonna pick like Ezreal or some shit because it doesn't matter what I do. I get my just turn my brain off and Q spam the wave. Like there's literally nothing they can do versus me. I'm just gonna Q spam the wave until I get my items and then just carry. So I definitely think blind picks are important because if it just evolves into everyone like let me counter pick, please can I pick your champion? Please,
wait, that just sounds like comms when we're playing with Voy.
Yeah, that's Voy, but that basically is Voy.
In a nutshell, dude. We're playing the game no matter what role. Give me last pick. I need this counter pick. Please let me pick this. Can you guys pick first? Just I'll swap you. I'm just like, come on, boy.
Hey, I respect it though.
He's got it in his blood, dude.
Yeah, he's always had it in there, dude. I mean, counter picks are pretty important, but yeah, there should be stuff that you can blind pick. But let's go on to the next topic. So there's been a lot of talks about Janna and how strong she is as a champion. Do you think she deserves harder nerfs? So, what's your take on it?
Well, she wasn't like played so much competitively, but in solo queue it's definitely like people are just worse at playing together to like somehow get a lead, you know, on a Janna lane or this. So of course if Janna just gets full lane and doesn't do anything, you know, doesn't lose lane, and she just gets full lane and becoming like when she start getting like level 9 and have 5 points in E and Ardent and an hyper carry, then it can be really annoying. So yeah, I do think that maybe solo queue purposes, like maybe they should like do a small nerf, but I don't think she's necessarily broken or anything like that.
Yeah, like
I mean, she can be really annoying in some type of champions, but it could be the same thing for, you know, Lulu back then was really annoying as some type of assassins and boozers. I'm sure Skara knows about it. You know?
I literally had to. I used to be
Katarina against Lulu, you know.
Impossible. It was same with any AD assassin, even like Caston is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, so, that's my favorite. I used to love just watching a Zed ult onto me, and then Lulu just bounces him right off. I just kill him right there instantly. I fucking live for that. But to the Janna, I definitely agree with you. Yeah, Janna's a champion where you need to be punishing her early before she just starts. I don't want to say taking over because she doesn't take over, but before she just starts being able to brainlessly spam her abilities. And in solo queue, since there's no way of communicating with your teammate, you can't like tell someone like engage now, like I'm strong, I want to fight now. Like you can ping to them, but let's say whatever your support, like your Brahm's not going to know, do I jump in here? Do I go for the key? Like what does this ping mean? Like, so many times in solo queue, people just don't know what to do. Like, it's just, let's just farm it out. Let's go late game. That's most people's mentality. You do that shit versus Janna, you're gonna fucking lose. Like, she's gonna start healing with her ulti, like 200 health a tick. She's gonna spam her shield every, like, 4 seconds. It's just auto. It's the same way with, like, Lulu. Like, Lulu, if you don't do anything to her, she's just gonna start going ape shit late game. So, I don't think she deserved a nerf. I'm a strong believer, and you guys can agree with me or disagree with me here. I think that Janna is so good because it eliminates, like, in solo queue, you need 5 people with functioning brains. But when you play something, like, okay, listen. You need 5 people with functioning brains, but when you play something that's stupid as fuck, like, I default Scion when I go top and middle. I don't need a brain, so now you only need 4 people to not fuck up. Like, I could die 50 times on Scion. It doesn't fucking matter, because I'll just go and fucking engage a fight and just sit there. Like, if I play Jan, I don't need a brain. Now you only need 3 people to think. Like, you're just eliminating people that need to actually be thinking. And I don't think that that's that bad to do, but what do you guys think? Like, do you guys think that Janna... I want to hear Scar's opinion, actually.
Dude,
Scar, what's...
Okay, I only look at this from solo queue. When I lane against Janna, I think her in-lane harass is higher than it should be. I think, like, for how easy it is, you literally W and you do, like, a ton of damage. And the move speed that she gets normally means that, like, she can usually walk up and escape from that trade fairly easily. Now, I just think that's the case. I agree with you. I just think that, like, because recently they have, like, Comet or Aerie in the game, there's a lot more damage early. Like, to the point where, like, when I play Assassin's Mid, sometimes I have to run the Resolve Tree because I literally can't lane without it. And Toplane just runs the Resolve Tree because it's OP. So, like, I think that Janna has too much free damage, and some of that may be just because the runes add more damage than they used to before. And the thing I would have nerfed would have been just her in-lane damage, and that's it. And I don't care about the rest because I agree with you. I think that she is just a late game scaling champion. Additionally, I think there should be some way to counterplay shields in the game, which hasn't been added yet. But
yeah, I agree with you on that. I definitely do.
If for instance, we wanted to get Lissandra back in the meta, and I read someone just said that, like, Lissandra ulti just denied you from shielding the target. That would be interesting. I want there to be some counterplay that shields that's not Aurelia passive.
I can agree with you on that. Back to what I was saying, like, just one more time. I do think, like Janna's harass is annoying as fuck, yeah, but there needs to be fucking voice communication, because I'll get an Alistar, so, like, Alistar versus Janna, Alistar needs to he needs to be proactive. He needs to be doing something. The Janna player doesn't really need to do anything. Like, if she just gets out of lane, she'll probably just go ape shit. I'll never see an Alistar, like, flash engage on Janna. And it's just it's like, use your fucking ability. Like, do something, please, you fuck. Like, we're on a timer. It's just so frustrating that it's like, dude, you picked Alistar, you're on a timer, you need to fucking do something or we're gonna lose to Janna. And, like, I don't know. It's just, I hate that shit.
They even made the combo on Alistar.
Yeah, they made the combo, like, impossible to fail, and I'll see people fail it all the fucking time, and it's just like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if you guys have noticed, like, a lot of people have been a lot more angry with League of Legends lately. But, like, I feel like I've been getting a lot more angry recently. Like, I'll play with the support and I'll just flame the shit out of him for, like, he doesn't do anything and I'll flame him for that. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, do something, you fuck. You've had full mana for, like, 5 minutes. I don't know if, like, League is just making me into an angrier person or, like, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? When you play solo queue or no?
I mean, yeah. That's one of the reasons why I mean, not for this year too much because I've been playing a lot more solo queue, but one of the reasons why I didn't play, or I don't want to play, like, too much solo queue, like, and play solo queue, for example, before scrims or stuff like this, is just because, like, I don't want to get tilted for the rest of the day, you know, like.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, man. Like some of the games, I have to just end stream after. It's like, all right, this was a good game. Like even I won a game and I just ended my stream after it because it was so much work to have to like, you need to do this, this, and this. I need this to happen. We need to engage over here. It's like, dude, I don't want to type a fucking essay to these people. Like if I had voice comms and I could be like, hey, dude, let's fucking engage this shit. It would be so much better than having to type in it. Sky, you must know what we're talking about here. Let me know about your tilting.
I don't bother with that anymore. Like the thing is, it's like because I'm casually playing, I don't try to micromanage teammates. If I did, the biggest thing about streaming, and I realize this is like, or in solo queue, you can't invest too much of yourself in every game. Because if I did, I did that for like a week when I first started getting back into streaming. I got so pissed off, so incredibly mad because I'm like, you guys are idiots. I can't believe you're not doing that. I just literally told you what to do and you're not doing it. But nowadays, I'm just chill. I'm just like, okay, well, this guy messed up. This guy messed up. I messed up here. All right, cool. Like, it happens, you know. And if it happens 6 times in a row, who am I to say?
If it happens 6 times in a row, that's a little too much. That's when the sparks start flying for me. Like,
no, I agree with you. I have some bad. Yesterday was like, I had 2 games where I literally wanted to end my stream after I was playing. Like, while I was playing, it was just terrible. I didn't learn anything. The game was over in 3 minutes, like 8 minutes. But like, I think that just comes with solo queue. I think I'm really fortunate to play on the NA server because people don't get really mad at each other or toxic. I look at the EU server and I'm just like, oh my god, dude, you guys are just like at each other's fucking throat. You're just typing paragraphs of shit, like just nonstop, like just typing, like oh my god.
I kind of like that better
though. Bad in terms of insults and this kind of stuff. So
yeah,
like, even if you're not saying anything and you mess up something, right? Then people will get like so mad at you, like especially if they don't know who you are. You know, like if you're on Smurf or something like this, people will. It's just really insane.
Dude, it is. I didn't go to. I played on my EUS account. I got the challenger on it. The whole time I was playing, people just never shut the fuck up. Like they would complain. Oh, you're from France? I hate French. You're from Poland? I hate Polish people. You're from fucking like wherever the fuck you're from. I hate you. It's just like they wouldn't even say anything. I remember I got in a game. It was like a Thresh player or some shit. He was from some fucking place. I don't know where the fuck it was. But these 2 guys just spent the whole fucking... The guy never said anything to Thresh. The 2 guys just spent the whole game fucking just saying, you're from a shit region, kill yourself. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, this guy hasn't said anything this whole game. And I just have to sit there and watch it too, because what the fuck am I going to do?
Was NA Wars, like, in the early days or not? Because EU was like so much worse than right now. So.
It was bad. Like early days when we had Big Fat LP, it was kind of bad. People were definitely flaming. Like I think in terms of toxicity over the years, NA has always been like the one that's been the least. I think.
Yeah, I think it was how you said. It was like you said last episode, the Riot Light era. Like he came and he pretty much eradicated any toxicity by force. Like he was the God King Light, and if you were toxic on his server, he would smite you down, dude. Like nowadays, I never see anyone like. Do you see people being toxic often?
No, I'm telling you, NA is like very, very tame. I would say like people. It's surprising to me. If people are
like passive aggressive or
yeah, of course. Like sometimes they are, but usually more than often not. People just don't say anything, and I'm just like, that's really.
It's so fucking crazy.
Weird.
Yeah, that's what I hate the most. Though people don't say anything, so like they'll be like pissed off and they'll be doing stupid shit. But it's like, are you trolling or you haven't said anything? Like, I don't know if you're upset. Like, I don't know if I need to apologize or like what happened because they're just like doing some stupid shit. It's like, all right, man. NA is a weird fucking region, dude.
Yeah, I'm torn between thinking it's very Care Bear and like I actually like it. Like, I've never had to mute anyone on this server. 2 Shaco players in 4 years, literally. Whereas like in EUS, I'm pretty sure I'd go on that server instantly. I would have to mute like the first 10 players I see in 10
I think
games.
you'll mute at least one person every game for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Even at Challenger, you'd be muting one person every game.
I mean, I'm not challenger right now. Right now I've been playing with one hand, and I'm like master 50 points or something.
What the?
And even at master tier though, you have to like mute one player per game.
I mean, so right now, like I don't even mute anyone because I cannot really type or use pings. Like I can only play the game basically. I have my spells on my mouse, you know. Killing, you know.
Yeah, I can respect
yeah,
that.
so I cannot really type, so I don't really even bother with people too much. Yeah.
Hey, that's the best way to go.
I don't really care right now, but maybe if I could type eventually, and if I was trying really hard to win my games, you know, communicate, and someone was being very annoying, then I'll probably mute at least one person every game.
Oh my god!
That's a good fucking region.
there's
I like that.
There's like our coach Dylan. Like he's playing jungle and he's like diamond 3 or something, and he always say like when he's jungling, the first thing he's do is mute all.
Yeah, I can understand that because sometimes I'll jungle, people just fucking whine the whole time. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Juggling is actually the dumbest role ever. Like
if they don't reply, like if people don't reply in you know, they'll just spamming you until the end of the game. So,
really?
Yeah, you have to mute pings as well. If it's really bad that you have to mute someone, you might as well mute his pings, you know, because he's gonna ping you for sure.
Jesus,
I'm telling you, that's why EU is better than NA. That kind of shit. That kind of shit. I joke around about it, but that takes heart. That takes dedication to the game that players don't have. Like, if you care enough to just spam ping someone the whole fucking game, I never played against anyone that would spam ping me the whole fucking game. So, I respect that as a region. That's good shit right there. But let's go on now. Let's get to our final topic. The final topic being the live question and answer segment on the Discord server. So I'm going to hop on Discord. I'm going to look for some good questions to answer. And let's just get it started off. So let's see. I will choose an excellent question to begin it off. This is a good question. This one goes for all of us. Just a nice one to start off with. Skillis wants to know, what do we choose? McDonald's or Burger King? I'm more of a Burger King kind of guy. So what's your take on it?
I mean, from what I've heard, McDonald's is just terrible in America, no? Like compared to Burger King. But in Europe, like I like McDonald's more than Burger King, but it's just my own preference. Like I know a lot of people. There's both, you know. But I know that, I mean, apparently in Europe, McDonald's is a bit better than how it is in America. But
Scar?
I think McDonald's is pretty good in America. You know, I'm on the BK train as well, but you know, it's very close.
All right. Yildren wants to know, sOAZ, who are your greatest Western players of all time, since you're often considered in that discussion?
my greatest player of all time in Europe?
Greatest Western players of all time.
Yeah, like who do you consider to be like the greatest Western players of all time?
I mean, it depends, like, of when you say. Like, if I have to say right now, it will probably be like on the edge of being, you know, like eventually Reckless or me, I guess. Or maybe you can argue about Sven and Mithi, but maybe they didn't play long enough, but they won a lot as well. But I think if he would have kept playing, like I would say, I think if he would have kept playing and I would have probably voted for Peke, like because he was just really, really good, and he Peke had the whole package, like he was really good, playing super good, but sometimes he didn't have too much. He just got bored of the game probably.
You say if he had kept playing. What about? I thought you were about to say Scott. What do you think of Scott? You think Scott if he had kept playing?
Dude, I have a great question I have a great response to this. So yesterday or 2 days ago, I hosted Deft. He was doing with Russia and Korea. I hosted him after I finished streaming, and I was like, "Hey, dude, this guy is cool. I love Deft. Great." He literally reads the host. He's like, "Who the fuck hosted me?" And when I heard that, I was like, I just fucking laughed. Holy shit. That is my only statement for that question.
Jesus.
Don't worry about it.
What the fuck is wrong with that guy? Let's get off this topic. I don't want to talk about that anymore. Convincing wants to know. sOAZ, I have to ask you, since you played at Worlds 2015, did you ever feel like you had a chance at beating SKT?
This was with Origin, right?
I think so, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's with Origin. Yes.
So after the first game, we played against them was like super close, right? And we are winning.
Yeah.
I think so. We were winning for most of the game, but then we just couldn't. I don't remember if we didn't get bound or we just couldn't end or something. I remember maybe they had Azir or whatever, and they are just like stalling forever, back when Azir was really broken. And then they had Fiora, like the scaling, it was really broken Fiora as well. And when Fiora got like 16, 17, we just couldn't hold and then we lost. But after the first game, we definitely were like, okay, we have a chance because it was really close. But then we got stomped the second and third game, so. But during the first game, we were like, okay, we can actually do this. But then, no, we could not.
Jeez.
Feels bad. Let's see. Convincing also wants to know, to all three of you, what do you all three actually think about the NA-EU rivalry? Which region is actually better of the two? And do you think the gap is actually closing between them and Korea? So I'll start off by saying, you know what? Sven and Mithy were considered the kings of Europe. They came to NA, and look what happened to them. I'm going to go with NA as the best region. Scar, what's your take?
I think EU has always placed better. NA has the better orgs, 100%. NA has more money, but EU typically has more raw talent because their servers have way more population than NA, and they have typically placed way better than us in international tournaments.
They've always placed better in international.
Yeah,
right?
Pretty much, except for MSI where COG placed second and got crushed by SKT. Every tournament aside from that, EU has placed farther.
So, what's your take? Who's better?
I agree with Scar. I think, we always placed better, sort of. But I think just from talking to like either owners, orgs or players within NA teams, it just feels like there's a lot less like team issues, or staff issues or this kind of stuff. So it feels like NA org are just better overall. Maybe they have like more staff or their staff works better. But yeah, in terms of playing, we'll always like plays better. But I think though, since last year, I think it like there's almost like no defense. I think like this year the difference of EU and A is not gonna be like very big. There's not gonna be a big edge between there's not gonna be an edge between regions.
Well then, for the final question, let me ask you. So, as Tricky wants to know, Do you think that another region will be able to win Worlds like Fnatic?
Oh.
I think for so I think NA is on the good path, of like having good organization and teams that I was saying, and I think that's what EU is lacking in my opinion. It's just the staff behind the players that make it work and make it so there's less team issues and it have less impact on players and teams overall. I think that's a big down of why at least Europe and all teams didn't have so much success, at Worlds, all this kind of stuff, is because like when you play Worlds, there's like so much pressure on yourself and on your team, right? So there's gonna be a lot more issues coming in, and I think staffs like the staff roles and orgs didn't make a very good job at like helping facilitate the Worlds run for the teams.
So you're saying that if it continues the way it is now, in the arms race to win Worlds between NA and EU, you think that NA is leading?
I mean, if EU doesn't, I think obviously EU is gonna. So, I think it's also because of it's probably a lot about money, right? But I think with franchise and EU orgs or even new orgs putting a lot more in the infrastructure and the staff members and all this kind of things is gonna help a lot the region overall and us to do better, I think, because I think that's a lot of what is helping the Koreans, like they respect Elder a lot, and all this kind of stuff. And
do you respect your
I'm
elders?
sure they have like a lot less team issues than what we do. Like we have, like even right now, it's not like big issues. Right? We have issues on a daily basis of scrims, like.
You have issues on a daily basis in scrims?
Right, I know how that feels. Dude, that shit happens all the time. When you're on a team, that shit happens
there's always issues,
You
like,
mean just like
maybe not
disagreements?
every day. Like if you win 6 games, like you stomp them, that anyone is gonna be happy, right? But even if you are like even if you go like 5-1 in scrims, there's gonna be issues.
Fair enough. That makes sense. Scar, what were you gonna say?
I just think, oh god, every time I hear about EU players, like, and like Western players, a lot of times is like it's hard to swallow the ego, because I think that a lot of players in Korea are able to do that. Like culturally, it's easier to do that, like swallow their ego, listen to people, like try to work stuff out. In the West, what I've seen a lot is just like people are like, egos are huge. Like everyone has an ego. If you're good at something, your ego is your confidence and your ability to like essentially play League of Legends. But like sometimes the egos are so big and like you can't fit it all in a room. You can't fit 5 people's egos in a room. And that was like, yeah, it takes a really good support staff to be able to, I would say, bring people together and like knock the egos out so they can just play games.
Yeah, I think it's also important that the staff is there before the players have habits and this kind of stuff, because if it's like a team that have played together for a year or something, they have a lot of, even if you bring the best staff, it's not necessarily gonna resolve them. So it's very important that the staff is there from the start and just have some just work like this. At least from what I've noticed from before.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, yeah, everyone said that Korea's had like an infrastructure and all that bullshit to allow them to do better than us. I mean, I feel like, do you think that it is just all infrastructure. Is it that they just have better practice from just being in Korea with like, I think Kalsip said it kind of is like a mixing pot with like, you have players, you have like the best players
It's
in
not
like
only
China.
one thing.
Yeah, I guess it is not only one thing. That makes sense.
I think there's a lot of factors to it for sure. But I do think also like the Asian culture works better for them to play as a team, you know. Like Askar was saying, you know, there's a lot more ego and issues within like for us, and there's a lot more respect in the Asian culture for sure.
Okay. Well, that's going to wrap up this show then. I want to give a special shout out, Scar. Scar, good shit on fixing your camera, dude. For people that want to watch Scar work on his camera some more, where can they see it?
Twitch.tv/Scar, Twitter.com/Scar. Those are my main ones. You can find me there. I'll be streaming later in the evening today.
Good shit, Scar. SOAZ, thank you for joining us today. For people that would like to see more of SOAZ, where can they get you?
Just follow me on Twitter for the good stuff.
Wait, dude, they can see you at MSI, dude. Are you serious?
I mean, I'm gonna be there, but I'm not gonna.
Wait, you're not gonna what?
I'm not gonna play there. Like my hand is not gonna.
Oh, it's not gonna be fixed in time?
No.
I
mean, so I'm not gonna have my. I don't even know how you say that in English, but my cast. Yeah, I'm not gonna have my cast anymore by MSI, and I'm gonna be practicing a bit before MSI, right? But I don't think I'm gonna be fully ready. You know what I mean? Like play.
Okay, like
10 hours every day before like this kind of stuff. You know, I'm just slowly gonna be there, and I'm gonna be practicing before MSI and during this time. But I don't wanna be like, you know, I haven't played with two hands for like a month and a half or something, you know. So I don't wanna just jump into it and just play MSI right after. But like, it's possible that maybe I play a game there or something, right? But
he's gonna play a game. He's hinting at it. He will play a game so you can catch him at MSI.
The finals match.
Yeah, they're gonna be. That'll be.
I mean, it's very. What I'm saying is very unlikely that I'm
okay.
MSI.
Alright.
Well, you guys know where to find me. I'm here every day, but for Beyond the Rift specifically, every Thursday. Same time, 5 p.m. EST. Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be it for today. Hope you have a good one. Peace.